Hello everyone and welcome to Petworking. I'm Peter Kenseth here at WVC 2025 and I'm back with Dr. Brennen McKenzie, Head of Veterinary Education at Loyal for Dogs. Here with some exciting news that broke just ahead of the conference. Loyal received FDA approval for reasonable expectation of efficacy.
That's right.
And that puts them on track to launch hopefully either later this year or early 2026, right, Brennen?
Yeah, so there are three components to getting conditional approval, and the efficacy component is thumbs up from the FDA. So we're still processing the manufacturing and the safety components, and if those are approved, we hope to get conditional approval for the first aging drug ever in any species by the end of this year.
That's awesome. And now, just to remind people that this targets metabolic decline, right?
That's right. That's right. Metabolic function declines with age, and that's an underlying risk factor for a whole bunch of different age-related diseases. We've seen that improving metabolic health through things like caloric restriction can extend lifespan and delay age-related disease. We're hoping to achieve the same thing with medication.
That's great. And then you also have the other therapy that you're working on that targets the accelerated aging in large dogs. Right?
That's right. We have two programs looking at large breed dogs, trying to lower insulin-like growth factor 1 levels, which we think is a big contributor to the accelerated aging in those dogs. One of those will be an injectable, one would be a chewable tablet. And we're still in the development process, so not exactly sure, but we're aiming for conditional approval, hopefully in 2026.
You guys are moving really quickly. It's come a long way since we were here last year.
It has, yeah.
And now Peony, my dog, has just turned 10, so she'd be eligible for Loyal 2.
That's right. Loyal 2 is 10 years and older and 14 pounds and higher, so she'd be a good candidate.
That's great. And how do I get it? Do I just go to my vet, or?
Yeah, it's a prescription product, so you can go through the vet. We're going to start announcing how the distribution will work once we get a little closer to final approval. So if you or anyone else on our mailing list, you'll be the first to find out.
I am on the mailing list. I'm keeping close tabs. I want to keep Peony with me as long as I can. And it's awesome to see the reasonable expectation of efficacy approval. And you guys still have the state trial going on.
That's right.
So that's going to monitor it over 4 years, but this is indicating that the early results are positive enough that the FDA feels like this should be given to dogs who are in need. Right?
Exactly, yeah. Reasonable expectation of effectiveness means that the data that we've provided so far is compelling enough that they expect that it should work. The STAY study is the definitive proof of efficacy for full approval. That's a 4-year clinical trial with 1,300 dogs. We're about a little over a year into that, so we've got a couple of more years to go. And hopefully, if that's successful, we'll be able to convince them that full approval is justified.
That's awesome, and great, and great that we have these conditional approval programs to, allow people to take advantage of these groundbreaking technologies, without having to wait for the completion of the 4 years.
Yeah, we're hoping this will give us a chance to help people's dogs and give some options for people with aging dogs as soon as we can.
I'm looking forward to it. It's awesome to check in, and we'll be following up with Loyal. I think this is one of the most exciting developments in the space. So, Brennen, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for stopping by.
Take care.